Okay.
Yeah, let's start.
Yeah, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Like SpongeBob ready?
Yeah.
All right. We have with us today the lovely Proxo from the chat, Mr.
Yeah.
ArcCBM, the Arc. How are you doing
Yeah.
today?
Doing fine.
All right.
It's very cold today.
What? Okay.
Very cold.
I mean, it might be here. I just don't leave my house, so it's the same temperature every day because it depends on my thermostat.
I see.
Um,
Yeah.
so the Arc. What level are you at right now? What is your the situation you're in at the moment?
240.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hit 240 like a week ago, and I think I want to go to 250, like for Will, right? Will is level 250.
Yeah, Will is 250
Like,
exactly.
yeah, so I want to get to 250 so I can do normal / hard Will.
Okay.
Right now I'm doing normal Lucid
Mm-hmm.
with some other people in the chat,
Yep.
and I'm waiting for 5, 10, 15 to get some 17 stars. Some are 15, some are 16. We're
Mm-hmm.
still waiting to get the superior Galax build. So yeah, I didn't get one yet,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately.
So you have the three other ones.
Yeah, I have the further ones. I just got the pendant today.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I bought it.
Yeah, kind of dependent on that drop. Yeah, once you do get that though, that's a big old
Yeah.
boost. Then
Yeah,
you go
so
one.
about the weapon, see it's a Fafnir, right?
Yep.
So I still have the Upsa one, but you know, like there's the 17 star scroll in, for level 160 equipment in the Awakening Skull.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm debating if I should use that one on the Upsa or should I transfer the Fafnir to the
Um.
Upsa?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, so the main reason, the main way I would answer that is what are your other options, and then figure out which one makes you the most money or saves you the most, right? So what would be the other options that you would compare it
Um,
to?
like other options, um, not sure.
What's your other abso at? Because we always want to use it on the highest level possible and something
Yeah,
that you would safeguard. That's where you save the
my
most
other
money.
Upsa basically 15, 16. I have a level 140 cape that
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to transfer to a Zakum cape and then to an Absolute cape.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm set on the other Absolute capes, just the weapon
Okay.
that I'm debating what to do with.
Well, I would argue that there are more options. Because you could move into the Sweetwater accessories, right?
Yeah,
And then those are also 160, and you probably don't have that many dineros for backups, I would think.
yeah, I don't do commercy at
Yeah.
all.
So, and if that's content that you don't like, then there are gains to be made there definitely because the 17 star Sweetwater, because you're going to be breaking up the boss set soon,
Yeah,
right?
the buttocks. Yeah,
Yeah, because Galax is going to come into play. The belt is going to get replaced. At least one of the pendants. Then you're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 set bonus, right? Which is pretty minor.
yeah,
And then at that point, if you switch out the eye and the face, you're still left with the 3 set with the badge, the Dominator, and the cup. You're gonna
yeah,
probably keep that for a while. And since the 2 that you already have are cubed for Mezzo and drop already, I think it might be time to get the Dominator into play because I would say transferring the weapon is just completely lost value if you don't transfer it. And the only way to
yeah.
really recuperate is
Right.
by transfer hammering it into the Abzo. So I would do that and go for one of the eye or face accessories and use the scroll on that instead.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that will be a great idea.
And then you have a good argument to get them to legendary, which is typically very easy 23% stat at least. So that should be a nice gain for the bossing as well if you want to go to Will later.
Yeah, I already have a Sweetwater tattoo, 15 stars, so I can
Okay.
use it on the
Yep.
monocle.
Use it on Monocle then. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Alright. Um, another thing I want to know is about my link skills. What link skills do you use on your arc?
Okay, I'm gonna have to do this visually because I'm not logged
Yeah.
in. Let's see if I use anything differently. So I don't. So I only use Noble Fire if I'm in a party with.
Yeah, that's for the Lucid party.
Exactly.
Manager
Yeah,
Lucid.
party with 6.
Yeah.
I don't
So can I?
use any of the. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you say?
So when I'm not in Lucid party, like I can switch it to like a Kinesis link skill?
Yeah. So Kinesis for me is basis.
Yeah.
Because I always have 100. So let's see. So I don't. I use a lot of things differently actually. So I use Fury Unleashed, Demon Slayer. I use the Light Wash from Lumi. I use Wild Rage from DA, and I use Terms and Conditions from Angelic Buster, and then Noble Fire if I'm in a party. I don't use any of the crit ones, so that's a big difference with your setup. But if you
Oh, you
need,
don't use any of the crit ones?
no, I'm at 100 without. So I have my but I have my hyper stats on crit pretty low because I have a soul with 12% crit.
Oh, I see. But like you're not using a Phantom Instinct, Focus Spirit, and Adventurers.
Yeah, none of
Heroic
those to
Soul?
get to 100%. No, because I
Oh,
have a little
really?
bit of I have a little bit of crit in my Legion because I'm so high in Legion. So and I have all of the crit sources that exist basically. And then Arc gets an extra 30%, an extra
Yeah.
20, and then an extra 10 from decent sharp eye. So you only need to get to 70. And I'm able to get to 70 without any link skills and crit. Yeah. Where's your hyper stat at? It's probably a little bit on the lower
I
side.
think it's 6 for the
6.
crit.
Yeah, so 7, 8,
Yeah,
9,
6.
10 would be 8% extra. And do you have things like the because you have a do you have a marksman and the Night Lord?
Yeah, I have a Marksman and a Pathfinder.
Okay. And your marksman is in your grid, and do you have a Night Lord as well?
Yeah, I have a Night Lord as well.
Mm-hmm. And those are both in your
Both
grid.
are level 140.
Okay. Yeah, mine are obviously 200, but that's only 2% difference, so that's not that much. But between that 2% and yeah, because I probably have about. I should probably log into the game while we're doing this anyway to check. But
I think the Legion is the problem.
yeah, I
for that
probably have
pattern.
like 12 or so in my Legion, I think, and then my Soul is another 12, so that is like 24% extra that you don't have. So you have to account for that for at least the Phantom
Yeah.
Link. But of course, your Phantom Link is only 15, where mine is also 20.
Yeah.
So they could pick up that slack, and then they're all like a little bit away from being maxed out, right? But which
Yeah,
is normal in your
Phantom
situation.
my Phantom is 189.
Okay, so
So
that one's
it's
getting
close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can get it.
And now you're at 77, right?
Ah,
Crit rate?
what?
77 crit
Oh,
rate?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then with the sharp eyes, it's 87.
Yeah, so you would go to 107 when you're buffed.
Yeah. So there's like 7 off.
7 off, and you could
So I
get
can take like.
7
Oh,
off.
maybe I can keep the 6 quit and maybe take off the adventurers link skill.
Yeah, you can definitely take off the adventure for now,
Yeah.
because that gives you. Is it 6?
I think it's 6.
Yeah,
Level 4.
yeah. Yeah, so right now that one is not helping you
Yeah.
with the decent sharp eye. So you can already move that one, because this is your bossing setup, right?
Yeah, this is my bossing setup.
So, well, what I like to use is just the resistance link skill, of course.
Yeah.
And what I use now for the later bossing is I use close call and what's it called?
Close call is Shades link skill.
Yes, close call
I'm
and
planning
the
to.
Cygnus one.
I'm planning to Terrorburn Shade.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I also use
On
the
the-
Cygnus for the reduced duration of being locked by stuff that falls from the sky
Oh,
and
I see.
everything. But yeah, that's mainly because I don't need the crit, and that
Yeah.
frees up for more utility instead. But I do use a lot of different stuff. Like I don't use Keen Edge and Hybrid Logic either. And I don't use elementalism. But elementalism usually gets replaced by the archmages and bishop.
Oh, I see.
When
Do
you-
Arc need them? The link skill for mages?
Sorry, what did you do? I what?
Arc needs the link skill for mages?
It's just better than elementalism, basically. Because you're getting 9 damage and 9 IED instead of 10 damage. So
Oh, it gives 9 damage?
yeah. So it's 3% per stack, and you can stack up to 3 times on a boss. So you
Oh, I
constantly have
see.
those stacks up, basically. And then because you debuff them with that,
Yeah,
that,
and
that
when it's a
triggers
debuff.
the Thieves' Cunning as well. So that's because I think we don't debuff bosses, do we? At all?
No, that's because of the Kana debuff in the Lucid party.
But isn't Thieves' Cunning
Oh,
doesn't
yes.
Thieves' Cunning only trigger when you debuff something, not when it is debuffed?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it only triggers when you as a player debuff something. So if that's the case, well, I'll double check.
Yeah, I need to check that.
Yeah, but so if that's the case, then the Thieves' Cunning is not working for you right now unless you couple it with the Mage Link.
Yeah, so I'll need to get mages.
Yeah, it's very normal at this point to have
Just
the kinda,
level 120, right? For bishop, for...
yeah, 120 for
Sorry.
each. Yeah, I mean, eventually I would get all characters to 140 for the extra Legion rank, but yeah, to 120 initially for the. Oh yeah, so this is my setup. So
Let's see.
wait, do I?
Oh,
I do have Focus Spirit on, but I don't need Focus Spirit. This is a mistake. I don't know why this is on. What do I usually put on instead of this? Yes, if you unleash Light Wash, Sickness Blessing, Wild Rage, Close Call, Judgment, so the Kinesis in there, Spirit of Freedom, and the Kadena. I don't think you have the.
Oh, Cadena is the unfair advantage.
Yeah,
What
that
does
one.
it do?
So you get up to plus 6% damage if you attack monsters that are lower level than you, and then up to 6% extra damage if they are affected by abnormal status. So that one just looks for the Kana debuff and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And then I use Core Aura because mine is rolled pretty well. There's like a lot of. It's 33 strength, 34 weapon attack.
That's from the old cubes, right?
Yeah, from the jets. Yeah.
Yeah, from the jet cubes.
And then empirical knowledge, and then I would add probably where is it? Oh, and then I would add Thieves' Cunning with this.
Yeah, fifth scanning.
Yeah.
I see.
And then switch Thieves' Cunning for Noble Fire if I'm in a party, because then it's more guaranteed.
Okay.
I didn't like 100% min-max this, but if I'm in a party, I'd probably switch Close Call out for Noble Fire. I am only using it now for the bosses that I run with Kami, so like Hard Lotus, Hard Damien, and Darkanella and Gloom, because it's just a duo, so it's a little bit more volatile if we our lives are a little bit more valuable with the two of us. So any chance to survive would be nice.
Yeah. So another question. I bought this Sweetwater pendant, like to get a good flame on the dome, right?
Yeah.
So I've been trying for a while now to get like 100 plus flame score, but I can't get it. Like the highest I got is 93, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So like, should I keep going and use flames on the dome until I get a 100 plus flame, or just settle with like 95, 96?
Yeah. The main thing is that you pretty much have time until you're going to be pressing past 17 significantly on everything. That being said, though, it is possible that you can get just Hard Lucid, Hard Will with 17-star Abzo, and then you need to work on the other accessories significantly more, so you can keep your Abzo at 17, so that because that will get replaced by Arcane, hopefully sooner rather than later, and then you don't overinvest in that, and then you can save the extra money that you would have spent there and spend it directly on the Arcane.
So should I get my CRA to 21 then? 5 to 15?
Yeah, like pushing CRA would be, because that just stays with you. Yeah, and you probably have a bunch of backups on that right now as well, right?
Maybe not the Etvo. I see you have a Absolab Red, right?
I have Absolab, yeah.
Yeah. So should I not start with the CRA yet? Or
Well,
at least get it to 21 and then I can transfer to an Upsilon one.
well,
Like when I get the arcane weapon.
yeah.
Yeah, in that matter. So to get the CRA to 21 and then transfer it to Upsilon when I get the arcane weapon. Is that a good idea?
That's what I ended up doing, yeah.
Yeah.
But for the Dominator specifically, so the amount of you're setting a very high bar, right? 100, 100, 105, 115.
Yeah.
Like for a level 140 item is very high. What you have to compare it to is that usually your flames on the Dominator pendant are going to be lower than what your CRA is, for example, because that's 150, right?
Yeah.
So if you compare that, if you have a certain bar of what you want to hit, yeah, like it's pretty min-maxy because once you've done that, but it's not like it's the end of the world if you're like, even if you're 10 stat lower, right? Like let's say you transpose at 95 or something, that's 10 stat on your entire account. That's not really going to make any huge difference. It's mainly just for people who want to min-max. If you get at least something that is like close to 100, then it'll already probably be better what most people end up with endgame on their top and bottom anyway. So it's more like a guideline for people who want to min-max rather than you need this, otherwise your transposed is a waste or something. It just mainly to help people from not transposing at like 75 or something, because then there's like a lot of possible stat that you can get back later on. But yeah, since Arcane seems much more accessible now than it did like a few months ago, you're going to be spending money like indefinitely anyway. And 10 flame score is very easily made up by a good flame on one arcane item, because those go very, very high.
Yeah. Like when you also transpose from Dome to Sweetwater, the stat goes up, right? The flame.
Yes
Like
and
if
no.
it's
Like it
no?
gets, so it looks at the green stat plus the cyan stat, and it adds those up, and then renumbers the green stat to what it would be at the level 160 tier, but the difference in stats it takes out of your cyan stats so that the total stays the same.
Oh, I see.
So that's why when you transpose, you see some people have like different blue numbers depending on which stats they already had. And that's how you can figure out what the stat before transposing was. Like with my monocle, you see the strength is plus 116 and then the dex is plus 127. So that's 11 difference. So before transposing, it was 68 strength. That's the extra 11 stats.
I see. Yeah.
Because, yeah, I think for some reason it's more important that it makes sense for the code for the green number to match than the blue number to match, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so if you get close to 90, like, yeah, like that's... This one, yeah, like what you have on the other one is like 88 and 44, right? That's like 92, 93, like something around there is probably more than good enough.
Okay. How my flames on the Upsilon equipment look? I know it's not that great, but like I don't want to spend too much misses on flames.
No, I get that. Flaming is more something like on the side to kind of make it a little bit better, but it's not like the main thing. You get 84, 82. That's all the stat on the glove.
Yeah, that's a lot of stat.
That seems fine. 6'3", 18, 72. With that, that's not too bad. Where is your... You already had a... Am I missing your cape?
My cape is down. Like at the end.
You use pencil?
No,
Oh,
Tyrant
Tyrants.
cape.
I see, yeah.
Tyrant, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fine then.
Just a placeholder until I have an upside.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so I think I used like 2 flames and I got 68 and 3, so I just kept.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's an easy keep there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine for now. I would just look at the progression grid, see like what kind of flame score you aim for, and then have like a little bit of a list in your head of like how close are all the items, and then which one is the first one you want to flame. But yeah, if your flame income isn't very high, and it seems that our flame income got kind of nerfed recently.
They nerfed
Ranmaru especially.
Ranmaru, yeah.
Yeah. So it seems that you have to be even more careful, because it's very... tempting to be like, oh, I have a few flames, let me just throw it on this item, and then you ruin your item. It's almost better to let flames expire if you only have one or two of them, rather than use them because you don't want them to expire but then mess up your item.
Yeah, if I end up not using flames on my main, I just use them on some of my meals.
Yeah, because the potential for loss there is
Yeah.
probably way smaller, so that seems like a good good strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The flames look fine for now, for sure.
About the V matrix, is I think it's called overdrive, like
Yeah.
the skill. Is it good? Like to replace one of my skills?
So overdrive is good, but we have so many good things as arc. Right now, did you take out that 5th boost node because you find you can still kill just
That
fine
fifth
without
boost
it?
node just for training,
Mm-hmm.
just a one shot with some skills.
For sure. I would use I would always throw in the speed infusion instead, just so that you can always be at the highest attack speed instead of overdrive. The other thing is that while you're bossing, you could also switch out the like shit's good. Decent combat orders is good, but I think I would prefer if you're like for training that would make sense, but for bossing I would put in the blessing, the goddess blessing instead.
Goddess blessing
Gives you so much burst, and we're so burst heavy, right?
Yeah.
If you throw down the bind, the hungry beasts, infinity spell, and then use your hyper key down, that's so much damage right there. If you can boost all of that with the goddess, it gives you so much weapon attack, and it's so good.
Okay.
Combat orders is more once you have like one or two more slots available, then you don't even know what to put in anymore. That's when combat orders comes into like
a lot of keys to press before burst.
Yeah. That's why on Arc I did decide to level up my Sharp Eyes and Combat Orders and Speed Infusion and everything, because...
If I just get Sharp Eyes from opening notes, I just combine
Yeah,
them.
exactly. I didn't craft any either, no.
Yeah, I didn't.
But you do want to... On other characters, what I would do is just leave them level 1 and then just press them when they come up if I don't have too many buffs, but Arc already has so many things to press. When there's a burst, you don't want to also have to worry about like 3 or 4 decents. That's, yeah... Like, I don't even have room for decent advanced blessing yet. I would use overdrive.
I don't see that coming anytime soon.
No, I basically use those 5 last ones that you don't have in yet. I put all of those 5s in as like the next 5, basically. And then I don't even have room for advanced blessing yet. That's basically my setup, I think, yeah. Those last 5 added and in the last 5 slots.
And then the skill that you get from Will, I sometimes use it at normal Lucid to switch holy symbol. It's not that useful because it's low level.
Yeah, it's surprisingly a large part of your burst still.
Yeah, no, it does some decent damage. Because like I switch holy symbol with it and it's level 6 because of the matrix points. So yeah, it gets pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Yeah, so you put in speed infusion and the goddess instead of overdrive and the and combat orders, and then that one instead of that makes sense. Yeah, that would be the switch, and then at the end of the box you could just put holy symbol instead of a boost node anyway, and then activate it for the box. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, alright.
And the nodes are getting very, very close to max. That's nice. And then the skill nodes will get more love. Infinity spell first. Yeah, makes sense. And Eternally Hungry Beast is also very strong.
Yeah, it's very strong.
What's crazy though is when my Eternally Hungry Beast was level 1 in a level 5 slot, it wasn't doing as much damage as my Creeping Terror. Which is kind of crazy. Yeah, because you can use Creeping Terror so much more. Because I have the cooldown hyper as well. And it's like just always maxing and everything. That it wasn't doing as much damage, but then when I maxed it, it was definitely better.
Yeah, I started to craft some 5th job skills to get them up, because I recently maxed the trio
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. Did you
So
see my
sorry.
hard Damien run yesterday
Our Damien one.
with the
What?
arc?
Did you get a drop or something?
Well, no. At the end, we were trying to. I was just like trying to chip it down so that I could switch gear. And I put the Eternally Hungry Beast down, and it just ate like a centimeter of the barb just by
Okay.
itself, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh
it's really
shit, yeah. It
strong.
was kind of underestimating how strong it actually is.
Yeah.
And the good, yeah,
Yeah.
no, no,
I
go for
saw
it.
you got a arcane weapon again.
Yes, finally got a arcane weapon on
Very
this
nice.
guy instead of
Maybe
another
you
one on
can
the
maybe you
DA.
can push the weapon to 20 stars or something.
Yeah, I don't know what I'll do. I think I'm very patient, but like a month from now, who knows? Maybe I get one or two more drops, and then we get the droplets from the shop and everything. Maybe there'll be a few more options because I have the glove waiting now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the dream of actually switching to arcane will become a reality slowly.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 21 Abzo, so I'm not in any rush. So I would have to get at least. I mean, I would probably push the arcane for 21 as well to switch. Maybe 20. But like lower than that seems not worth the time switching over. So star forcing first. If anything blows up, then the plan just gets delayed. But if I get there star forcing, then we can start investing. So the potential in the flame is all just 100% waiting.
Yeah. For training, should I get drop rate or a obtained?
So usually you want a combination. Do you have any
Yeah.
the familiars that you showed me? Are those the ones that you use like all the time, or?
Yeah, the Eye of Time I use for training,
Mm-hmm.
and when bossing I just use those two, like Sinister Rocky Mask.
Yeah. So wait, do you have 2 slots available when in your?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But you always have 2 familiars out when you're training as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because then one of those will. Because then they should level as well, right?
Yeah, I'm using another one. I'm using a new one. Yeah, just uploaded here.
I see. Because you know how that works with the defense and everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But you can also tier up the familiars to like epic or unique.
Yeah. Of course, but you don't want to do that with familiars that already
Yeah.
have good lines, right? Because it just random rerolls.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it when I get to is it Moonbridge?
Yeah.
Drops familiars. Yeah,
Yeah.
Moonbridge.
I skipped Moonbridge as arc. I was LP1 until 250, and then I moved straight to Labyrinth because I don't know if there are any really good maps
Yeah,
in
maybe I
Moonbridge
can
for us.
go to Celos when it releases and not stay at LP1
Maybe.
until 250.
Yeah, maybe 245 to LP1 and then move over for 5 levels and then to Labyrinth, or maybe stay at Celas if some maps there are good.
I don't know how good are the maps in Celos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see because we could know the layout and everything and how many monsters on the map, but how Kishin and how totems affect it is always a little bit different. So we'll have to see. I was looking at some maps in Cernium and to see like rotations there. It seems pretty interesting there, but yeah, that's 260, 265, and 270 soon. But they seem to have like one monster, and then they have 3 maps for them, like a small one, a medium one, and a large one. That's pretty nice because it really depends on what kind of playstyle you have. You can still all fight at the same monster, and then 30 channels for each. So there's plenty of new maps there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Celos could be a good option. Yeah. For familiars, I would I was gonna say. Oh yeah. So do you know? Did you look up the increased item and meso drop rate by small amount? How much that represents?
I think it's 20%.
Yeah, that was my guess too. Okay.
Yeah, 20%. And when large is like 50.
Yeah. If it's large together, I think it's around 60, and if it's large
60.
alone, it's 100, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I haven't seen a large one yet.
No, those are. I think that's unique or.
Unique.
Epic or unique, I think. Yeah. The large amount. It's a pretty rare one.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say with the familiars? I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, no, you asked about drop rate or meso obtain, right? So you always want to have a combination of meso and drop because drop rate increases how many bags, and then meso how much is in the bags, and you want to optimize for both. So you and of course you want nodes and droplets in case those drop, right? So ideally, since you have 9 accessories and you cap out at 100% meso obtain from accessories, people usually go for 5 lines of meso and then 4 lines of drop. And then if you
Like
get
how many cubes is it to roll 2 line, like meso and drop or drop?
I don't. Is that in the calculator? Let's see.
I don't know.
So typically, when I go for when I try to go for 1 line of meso or drop and 1 line of strength on all 9, a lot of times. This one. A lot of times I will end up with at least 1 item that has like a double. But yeah, that's 1 in 9 items, so it's not super.
Yeah, so I tried to hold it on my silver blossoming and I got 20 meso and 18% strength. So I just kept that.
Yeah, you would keep that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Say it's like 2.2 median cost.
Yeah, it's not. That's with. Oh yeah, that's with the red cubes. I wonder if with black cubes, if it's. It's a little cheaper even with black cubes. Yeah, only around 2 bill.
Black cubes.
Yep. Yeah, because it's double primes, right? Black cubes have it's 100%, 10%, 1% with red cubes, and 100%, 20%, 2% with black cubes. So.
Someone took 1,030 black cubes. Well.
Yeah, that guy's not very lucky. But another person got it in the first cube, so. Yeah.
1 cube. 1 cube wonder.
Yeah, exactly. 1 cube wonder. This guy's big mad 23 bill. Yeah, honestly, this is a lot cheaper than I thought. Actually,
2 bill is not that much.
No, I mean, with the average going up to 3, so there's a little bit wide. 75% chance of people get it within 4. So you have like 1 in 4 chance that you end up spending around 4 bill. That seems.
Yeah.
Even that doesn't seem too bad. It seems like 4 bill you can make that back. Because you're mainly talking about droplets now, right? Like your nodes are already near max anyway. Maybe you're building up a buffer of nodes in case you want to play another character, but it's mainly about the droplets that you would get over drop.
I actually started seeing more droplets since the update.
Yeah, I've heard some mixed results, but in general, at least an increase. We don't know yet. Like, I don't have a exact measure yet on how much it went up, but yeah, in general, it went up for sure.
Yeah, if I started getting them, so I think it went up a bit.
Must have gone up, yeah.
Yeah, it must have gone up. Wait, I got a droplet? No way.
That's the best thing, though. You open up your inventory and then you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
The surprise droplets are always a very welcome thing.
Yeah. When I transfer the Fafnir weapon to an Absolab, the soul stays, right?
Yeah, soul stays. Potential goes down to epic.
Yeah, to epic. That's a very sad moment.
Yeah, and the flame doesn't get transferred, so you can, if you have, I don't know what flame you already have on the Abzo weapon.
Oh, I don't have the Abzo weapon. I'm planning to get it next week.
Oh, next week. Okay, yeah. But you could already start flaming the weapon.
Yeah.
So that's
until 15 comes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you have some time to hopefully get something nice on there.
Kill it,
Yeah.
Yeah, the flame on the Fafnir is pretty decent, I think.
Yeah, the 23 looks very low, but the base attack is so horrible on Knuckles that's probably like at least a tier 4, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's tier 4 and you have tier 4 boss and tier 5 damage, like that's fine for sure.
Yeah.
Since we finally get some base attack on Abzo, then you definitely want to try to aim for the tier 6 attack
that's a
there.
Big boost of damage. The Abzo weapon.
Definitely, yeah. The base.
I'm stuck with this weapon for over 2 months and a half, at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're gonna be stuck with CRA even longer, so.
It served me well, though. It served me well.
Yeah. For sure. The extra 30 boss on the set is really nice.
Yeah.
Because you were doing pretty well on the boss damage, right? You're like 300%?
Yeah, I have a lot of boss damage.
And you get 40...
Yeah, 360 full buff.
Yeah, we got 60 more, yeah, right. Because we
then 96 ID.
Yep. Yeah, you're that's because you're secondary, right? Your secondary and your emblem's very
Yeah, the
solid.
secondary gives 70% boss.
Yep.
It's pretty insane.
Yeah, eventually once you're like done with everything, you don't even need the IED on the emblem anymore, and you
Yeah.
can
I'll
also
try to get a full-line attack with black cubes.
yeah, that's gonna be a hoot.
Either one black wonder or a lot
or
of cubes.
or instead of 1,000, more like 10,000 or something.
Oh
Let's see
no.
how many the
Yeah,
unluckiest
how
guy.
much is it?
Emblem. 3-line attack with black cubes. Let's see how unlucky the unluckiest guy is. Ooh, the computer has to think for this one.
Oh yeah, the computer.
Ooh, that's a lot of that's a lot of simulations going on there. Oof.
Can I just get your DA luck?
See, 15,137 for the one guy got it in 10, so it's like times 10 on both sides basically.
Oh, no one got it in one cube.
No, at least 10 cubes. But the unluckiest guys with 340 bill.
2,600. Shit.
But that's with black cubes, right? So
Yeah.
if you do red cubes here, the number should be way lower.
Oh wait, the item level is 150.
Oh yeah, but yeah.
Shit, it's like 100, right?
Well, yeah, 2,000 cubes. It's
Yeah, it's like 400k per attempt.
yeah. See, with red cubes, it's about the same amount of cubes, a little bit more, but
Yeah, but I
which
lose
means the
the
cost.
potential I have right now if I use red cubes, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
No. No, but
Yeah,
if you don't need the ID, yeah, no, I get what you mean though. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
what you
but
mean.
21 attack is pretty good. I
Yeah.
wanna spend like 20 bill, get nothing, and quiet.
I think the main thing would be, yeah, that will happen with black cubes more likely than with red cubes, right?
Yeah.
You spend a lot of money, don't get anything. If you do with red cubes, you might spend that much money and not get your 3-line, but you're more likely to be able to fall back on another 2-line roll and then be like, okay, I'll wait here and then save back up. The thing is that you have to weigh the cost of the black cube versus the here's what I'm going to say is that if you do decide to ever like do that, at that point you're going to have probably like 8k legion.
Yeah, that point.
And you'll have the
Probably.
the block of 40%, and the 30% IED specifically is not gonna do as much for your damage anymore. So even losing that line is not gonna be, even if you switch to like 21 attack with 9% damage or something, that would already be an increase to your overall
9%
damage possibly.
still pretty big, right?
Yeah, it's
Damage
really
is very
weird
nice.
because I thought that attack was like way better than damage.
Yeah, I saw that it's not much of a big deal between two.
Yes, I was
Like I
was
yeah,
comparing. I had this one on the left here.
yeah.
And then so I saw that this is 1.5 mil extra compared to what I have. I have 21 attack and then 40 boss.
Yeah.
And then someone showed one that was 30% attack, and that one gave me plus 3 mil. So, but this one gives me plus 1.5. So that kind of makes it look like 9% attack is like the same as 18% damage.
Yeah.
Which kind of looks like what I have as 40% boss damage there is like 18% attack? Like, I don't know how to read that. That doesn't seem right.
Like the percent damage adds up to your what it adds up to.
Yeah, maybe the
How does
percentage
it
damage.
how does it calculate it?
Oh, here. It gets added to the damage bonus.
Oh, the damage bonus, yeah.
But I guess it gets reduced efficiency because that then gets added with the boss damage, right? So since the damage bonus goes straight to your range. Oh yeah, the damage bonus goes straight to your range, but the boss damage doesn't. So the damage looks 3 times as efficient as it actually is because it's only 1/3 of your total percentage damage. Well, it's more than 1/3 because when I'm buffed completely, I think I'm at like 340 damage and over 500 boss. So it's more like
the other day someone linked 40% damage,
2/5.
and I saw that it's almost better than my 21% attack. for some reason.
Yeah, but I think that has to do with the fact that the damage bonus, all of it goes into your range, and but the boss damage doesn't go into your range. But if you take that into account, then the damage is only half as efficient for your damage output when it comes to bosses. So it looks better when you visually compare it with range, but that's why range is such a bad indicator, because it like selectively adds some stats and doesn't select others. That's why I would like a revamp of the whole stat window, where it shows like what is your meso obtain right now, what is your drop rate, what is your range on normal monsters, what is your range on boss monsters. You know that you can like switch between like damage, you can click it and it shows like boss damage range and normal monster range, something like that. Like what is your functional IED on your skills, like a pop out, like that you have all those numbers, because then I think it'll be way more useful. Because now it's like what is in here? Defense, status resistance, like
of defense.
Speed and jump is pretty insignificant for most of the time. Like this is so outdated, you know.
Yeah, defense is for just regular mobs, right?
Yeah, your damage range is your damage on normal monsters. So that's why if you wear Pencilier, the set bonus gets added to your damage range. But but that's not your base damage range, right? But your base damage range is used to calculate your damage on bosses, but then adds boss damage. So the number you see in damage range is technically supposed to be a damage range when fighting normal monsters.
Do you use your hyper stats on attack power?
So I focus on so I have none in critical rate, but that's because of, you know, my Legion and my wait, let me check real quick how much I have in there, because I think it's like 12 or something, but it might have more. Oh, 14. Yeah, I have 14 in there because of this. And then because I have 12 on my soul, so that's 26 in total. So that allows me to have none in critical rate, and then I just hyper focus on critical damage, ignore defense, damage, and boss damage. Yeah, like the boss damage one gives 51% now at level 14, which is
51.
Yeah, it's really big.
Oh, it increases by a lot.
Yeah, it goes up by 4% past level 5.
10? Oh, 5.
Yeah. Yeah, so at level 10, damage comes out at 30, and then boss damage already comes out at 40. And then, wait, 14? Wait, no, that would mean that it would come out at 39? Hang on. Isn't it 3 up to 5 and 15? And then 4 times 5, 20. So it comes out at 35. And then, and then 4 per level times 4 is 16. Yeah, 35 plus 16, 51. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah, so this one's at 35 at level 10, and then goes up to 51%. And since damage and boss damage are the same when it comes to fighting bosses, and you don't really need that much more damage when you're mobbing. Of course, I would have to throw this into a calculator if I wanted to make it perfectly correct. But when you start going like past 10 and 12, until you can go to the next level, sometimes might be a few levels. So then you would put leftovers in attack power, and then if you have any leftover after that, put it in strength. And then any leftover after that goes into dex. But yeah, you see, it's like level 2 and then level 1, so it's quite well matched right now.
How much crit damage you get from your Legion?
40. Sorry, 20. It's 0.5% per 0.5% per block, and then ignore defense, boss damage, and crit are all 1% per block.
40.
Yeah, so 40 IED, 40 boss, 20 crit damage, and now 14 crit rate. That's what I have. I mainly have this for the DA, because that one has very, very low crit rate, and that one needs all of the links except for the Archer one, needs all of the links and this to be able to hit 100. I know, of course, for my marksman, it gives a little bit extra damage in vicious shot, so therefore it's also nice. So it's kind of the base setup I use for everything. The other setup I use is my mage setup whenever I'm training a mage.
Yeah. The crit damage is really big.
Yeah.
See, like sometimes that I have non-crit lines,
it's so much lower. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets cut by half.
Yeah, so even more, right? Because you have base crit damage of 20 to 50%.
Yeah.
And right now I have 96% critical damage. I think that's with all my stuff. Nothing adds critical damage. Oh, decent sharp eyes would add. So go to 104. Yeah, so you add 124 to 154% damage somewhere in there. But you can see it as easily as starting a new character and just hitting a monster. Like the non-crits go up to maybe like 4k or something, and then the crits can go up to like 8 or 9, and it's like, yeah, it's such a huge difference.
Yeah, it's big.
And that's why the 100% crit rate is so important. But also you don't want to go over, at least if you're not an archer. So getting that puzzle put together and like switching out your explorer archer, yeah, for the kinesis is like that's like an easy fix to immediately increasing your damage.
How much crit damage is kinesis at level 2?
At 4%, I think.
4%.
I think it's 2 and 4. Yeah, it's not. It's pretty modest, but 4% critical damage is still very nice.
Yeah, it's still nice. And when the mage link, I will switch with Arbor Logic. The mage link with Arbor Logic.
Yeah. For now, yeah. But until you have that, you can switch out Thief's Cunning, right? Because I think we. Let me double check. Because
for now I can switch it.
Your cunning and training allow you to upon debuffing an enemy, damage plus 18%. Yeah, so it's when you debuff an enemy, you gain extra damage. So it's not even on the target you debuffed, but it's just you get it because you debuffed someone.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I use it mainly on my hero. It's really nice.
Yeah, well, yeah, that one is constantly panic and puncture. Yeah.
Okay. And then the Noble Fire when I'm not in a party. What should I switch it with?
You don't have the core aura, right?
Yeah, no.
What else comes next then? Pirate?
Oh, maybe Pirate?
Pirate Blessing, if you have that one. Or the Cygnus. Six-stacked Cygnus, whichever one you have. If you're training, I like to use Tide of Battle, but...
What does it do?
Gives you up to 12% damage, but you have to keep moving all the time. So when I'm training, I usually train in maps where you rotate a lot and move around the map a lot.
Yeah, we always move.
Yeah, so that you keep that up, so that's 12% damage there.
I see.
But yeah, that's mainly for mobbing. I don't want to feel that pressure when I'm bossing that, like, oh, I have to move to keep my damage up. Like that doesn't feel nice. If I'm not like a Dawn Warrior or a Night Walker who are already jumping around all the time, then that feels like some bad juju to have that hanging over me. Like you gotta move. Yeah.
I guess that will be good for my Legion too, to level up some characters, I guess.
Yeah, how many total characters do you have in there right now?
I think 24.
Okay. Yeah, in the beginning, yeah, it says 22 here, you're 24 now, yeah. In the beginning, you could just dump new character, just make a new character pretty much every day just to get those extra free levels.
0. It's already on the block, so I gained like 140 total levels from that.
Yeah, other characters only have to be 60 to be in there, right? So if you make 15 characters level 60, that's 900 levels. They're basically free. Just a little. If you do, so think about it, if you make one every day for the next 2 weeks, then you have 900 extra levels.
Yeah.
Just to level 60, which is not that much time, right? And every single character will be stronger and stronger than the last one. You'll be past 4k, you'll get another space in your grid, and then you can start moving points out of attack and strength, move into critical damage and into IED. Maybe not IED yet, because your IED is good enough now. Maybe that'll be the switch that you make. You just keep going boss damage, maybe a little bit of crit rate, so you can roll out of those links and go for higher damaging links instead, and go into critical damage, and then like divest from the middle out of strength and attack, because those corner stats will become way more important comparatively. And then until you redo your emblem, you kind of stay out of ignore defense as well. Yeah. Because your ID is high enough now, especially in a burst.
An AFK EXP event, so I can level my Phantom. I really want that AFK EXP event.
Yeah, well, if you level the Phantom up, then you can make it so that when you're that you can maybe get rid of the other two, right? out of both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other two.
There's a little bit of boss damage, of course, in the Beast Tamer, but if you don't need the crit rate anymore and it's only the boss damage, then it's not that good by itself either, because then it's only giving you up to 10%. Then it's basically the same as the Kana Link. So then you have to see those as like the same, basically.
Yeah, I need more Legion coins for when I train.
Yeah, and just steadily growing out the Legion, getting everything at least to 140, so that everything that's on the board is at least taking up 3 spots is important.
Yeah.
Arc
You
will
get
take
like
up 5.
how much coins do you get per day?
So the way that you can calculate, the way that you can calculate is the damage that you see is how much damage you do per second. So if you multiply by 60, you get per minute, and then multiply by by 24 and then by 60 again, right, to get your damage per day. Nice. Or you can actually do the math that I put in and not do some weird shit. Times 3,600 times 24. And then if you divide that by 100 bill, that's how much damage you need to do to get 1 coin. So you get like 64 coins a day passively, and then you can get 30 extra from the dailies. So you get like around 94-ish. Yeah, so for my raid power, it's a different story, because I think I'm close to 500. Yeah, I'm 490 now, so.
Yeah, does 4K Legion gives 5 members when you upgrade?
Oh, we have like a little bit of a feedback. Is your phone like next to your in line with your stuff?
Feedback?
Yeah, like an electronic. You know what feedback is? Like when people hold the microphone like too close to their metal braces, sometimes you get like you get like the squeaky. Oh. We're having a little bit of that every now and then, but it's gone.
Yeah,
now.
might have happened.
Sorry, what were you asking? Sorry, I got distracted.
When you upgrade to the total level 4K Legion, does it give you 5 members, or does it give you one?
The 5-member upgrade is every time you level up past a multiple of 2,500. So 2,500 to 3, and then 5 to 5.5, and then 7.5 to 8 is the. All the other ones are +1 only.
All right.
But every 1,000 is 1 extra space in your grid, all the way up to 6,000. So you do get that. So 3.5 1 character, 4 is 1 character and one extra grid space. 4.5 is 1 extra character, 5 is 1 extra character, and then 5.5 is 5 extra characters. So until then, the individual value of every character is very important. That they are all the highest rank possible, so they cover as much ground as possible. Yeah.
For training, should I care about the bonus EXP from the Legion?
To put the Legion in? To put like the 0 in, or to fill out the bonus EXP grid?
To fill out the
because you only get like 0.25% per grid. Yeah. So unless you have like a 6k plus Legion, and you can comfortably kill with just critical damage and some stats in the middle, and maybe a little bit of critical rate, and then you have enough to at least like fully fill out the bonus experience. Until then, I wouldn't put like a few points in, because it'll detract from your kill speed more than it adds to your experience gain. Especially as an arc, right? Because you're still building up to get so strong that your impending. What are those balls called? The red ones? Is it
impending? No, not impending.
It's not impending death. Because that's what I was thinking. Is it vengeful hate? No. Does it say on this skill?
Wait, the balls?
The abyssal auras, that's the one. When impending death activates, an additional 3 abyssal auras. So you want to get the abyssal auras, and you want to get the basic cast. You want to get those to start 2-shotting or 1-shotting, right? That's when arc really starts getting really good, because our range on those is not very good, sadly. But it does have a decent level of damage, so you can get to 1-shotting with those.
Yeah, I checked in IBA. I saw that basic cast is not that strong. Not that strong. What the basic cost, is it the balls or what is it?
Yeah, so the basic cost is the spell charge ball that fires after you use the basic charge
Yeah.
and hit a target. But the beauty is that when you're in infinity spell, you usually use infinity spell when you're in flora form, right? And then sometimes
Yeah.
multiple basic, because every single time you just jump around with basic cast, you'll get 5 of them to fly around. And then since it doesn't have a huge range, it can, like 2 of them can target the same monster and then still quote unquote one shot it, even though they need 2 hits. But the monster will still die very quickly. Oh, I haven't. I just checked my Kana and I have 10 expired storm growth potions just sitting in my inventory. Whoops. That's a big oof. I didn't know I had that. Whoops. Well, that's a rip.
10.
Yeah.
Maybe use it on
I
one
don't know.
of
I didn't even know. What did we get 10 from? That must have been from a super old event. I think I put those in there to level my bishop to 200 because it's still 198. But
Oh, I think from the Wise Salon we got some.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Probably. Oh my god, I can't believe I completely forgot to transfer those. I put it in storage but never took it out. Interesting. Well, rip 10 levels. Yeah. We talk about bonus XP. Oh yeah, the balls for the balls to kill, yeah. Yeah, you're still working on that, so I think it's more important to have your critical damage and your critical rate and have all of that stuff figured out, rather than to go into bonus experience until you're really, really comfortably one-shotting and rotating maps without having to worry about monsters dying.
Yeah. Should I get the Mechanical Pendant to Legendary for Droplet Gear?
I would say yes. What total lines are you on now when it comes to meso and drop? Like, what is your distribution looking like
I
right now?
think it's with the familiar, it's 80 drop and not 80 drop, 80 meso and 40 drop.
Because you're adding 20 to each with the
Yeah.
familiar, right? Yeah. So you have three meso and 1 drop on your equip.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then a little bit more because of your inner ability has a little bit of drop
Yeah,
as well.
any
Right?
ability and holy symbol, so a bit more.
Yeah, and holy symbol. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So see, the tattoo you already have. Yeah, you have the spare.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see you already had the black bean mark.
Yeah. Yeah, I can transfer that into Popularis mark, right?
That is true. That is true.
So
And
it's instantly 16 stars.
Yeah, and then it's instantly transpose ready for. Yeah, that is very true. Okay, yeah, that's another good way to to maintain some of the value for sure. Okay. Yeah, because you have 9 accessories in total, so yeah, ideally you want to aim for that 4 drop, 5 meso. And since I'm assuming that your kill speed is pretty high at this point, right? Because all of your stuff is pretty well upgraded, and the flames, at least on the flame advantage, like accessories, is also very nice. Even on the pencilier cape, the flame is really nice.
But that's a drop from Ebos, I think.
Yeah, it has to be, right, with those numbers. Like, that's crazy. This is like what probably like 50% of the people's CRA equips are like worse than this, I think.
I think my CRA cubes are the same.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense because that's pretty decently like early late game, honestly.
Yeah, that's why I got it to 15 at the time, like 2 months ago.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I would say that accessories, like, well, 5, 10, 15, of course, right? The other stuff, getting your Abzo and all that stuff to 17. But other than that, I would say the accessories would be the priority to try to get your combination of drop and meso, and then aim for at least 1 line of strength with whatever drop or meso you get.
Yeah, I'm planning on cubing after the 5, 10, 15. Yeah.
Yeah. You'll
maybe DMT. maybe.
Yeah, you'll feel ready for cubing again after
Yeah,
after the 5, 10, 15 and everything. You'll be ready to cube again. But for now, maybe it's a little bit too soon.
yeah.
Although you seem to have made some really nice gains, so couldn't have been all bad, right? Superior earrings are ready to go. Yeah, I just hope you get that belt soon, because that
Yeah, I
will
really hope.
really help a lot.
Oh, I forgot to ask you something.
Sure.
About the golden clover belt.
Yeah.
If you see it, it's 18 stars. Should I just go for 21? Transfer it instantly to 17.
Um. Well, so there's two major things there.
Yeah.
You, on the one hand, you don't want to go super far on one item and all your other items get left behind. On the other hand, you also don't want to like have to remake and transfer multiple times.
Yeah.
So there are good arguments for both. So it's a good question, obviously. The one thing would be like, how much money would you have at that point specifically for this?
This is like the last thing I'm gonna do. Like, get the episode to 17 and some other cubes to 17, and like this is the last thing I'm going to look at. If I don't have enough money, then I just transfer.
Yeah, because you were also mentioning just start forcing up your CRA, right?
Yeah.
And that seems like I don't know how many. You probably have some Clover Belt backups, I assume.
Yeah, I have a lot.
Well, the thing I do want to mention is that I don't know if you've seen like some of my star forcing sessions. Like I make going to 20 and 21 look very easy, but it
Yeah,
can also
so
be
I
that's
told you
not
most
necessarily the norm. So I don't want to be like, oh yeah, just do it, because look at
yeah,
how
it's just
quickly I got
one
it.
bill.
Yeah. Just spend like 15 bill and get 5 items to 21 easy. Like that's not the norm, right? So you have to also be prepared. I would definitely just look at the numbers and see what the averages and the medians are, and make sure that you're willing to spend that much. Yeah, it's two pronged. Like if you don't necessarily need the damage immediately, then you could hold off a little bit, because yeah, who knows? You might not get the belt for like another month or so, right?
Yeah.
And maybe by that time you have enough money and enough belts to just reliably be able to get to 21 and transfer it over. At that point, it would be a huge upgrade. It was so much extra weapon attack.
Yeah, that's a lot of weapon attack.
And yeah, it looks so close, right? Like that's only 3 extra
Yeah,
stars,
it's so
but
close, but it can
it's
go
so
down.
much. It's so
Yeah,
much
that's-
clicking. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I guess to an extent, whether you do it on this or on CRA doesn't really matter. I mean, in fact, yeah, this one is going to be quote unquote cheaper initially, right? Because it's only a 140 item, but you'll have to transfer it anyway. The main argument would be like, do you go one item at a time and then have it done, or do you like frog leap all of them, just go one item at a time? That's kind of like the that would be the other option, right? That you, but yeah, but that's something you do with CRA, not with this one, because either you transfer it or not, and you have, yeah, I get the dilemma. I would make it depend on how much money you have when the event comes around, but it is definitely a possibility. Yeah. Yeah, and if it does go down, I mean, if it does go down to 17, I mean, you can still
Yeah, I
and
can
you run out
just
of money, like it even if it blows up, it'll go down to 12. That'll be kind of annoying, right? You have to go back up to 15 to be able to transfer it.
I think what I can do is just one click it. If it goes down, transfer to the superior belt, safeguard to 17. If it goes to 19, try for 20.
Yeah, that's what you could do. Yeah, 19 to 20. I think 19 to 20 is supposed to be the most dangerous Star Force.
Yeah.
Because it has like the highest chance of losing because of the going down. And I think that's my strength, is that my 19 to 20 luck is like legendarily high. Like it's like around 50%. I've done some sessions where I've gotten like 8 out of 10 or something going from 19 to 20.
I think the risk is 20 to 21 because 7% chance to boom.
Yeah, 7% is a boom, but no chance to drop. So you
Yeah.
have fewer passes past that point. So that kind of compensates for that. Whereas with 19 to 20, lower chance to boom, but you're gonna, on average, have to try 19 to 20 more times because it will go down again and you have to go back to that point.
Yeah.
But 20 to 21, it's like, and then you have the additional boom chance from 18 to 19 to get back there, right? But with 20 to 21, it's just straight up that one. But I mean, 20 to 21 is definitely not free, as some people say. I've gotten it a bunch of times, but I've also blown up 20 to 21. It feels really, really bad.
I think it will depend on how much mesos I will have after 17 stars.
Yeah.
17 starring the Absolab.
Yeah, because you can get a few Absolab items that just you need like 2 or 3 tries and it's fine, and then one item will need like 18 tries or something, and it's gonna be like, well, there goes like a few bills.
Because it's also with Safeguard, 16 to 17 Safeguard.
Yeah, it can be very expensive, but yeah, if you get 2 or 3 items who get it like first try, then that might, yeah, it's definitely an RNG thing there, yeah. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing to consider. Honestly, if bad comes to worse and you blow this one up, maybe you just keep using the current eye thing, and then you just use the 17-star scroll and the superior or something. and then just go back to Golden Clover belts much later once you want to go for super high Star Force, once you're gonna want to go for 20 or 21. And then you just try, but then you always have the 17 superior at least as a backup. Something like that could be a backup option.
Yeah, I'll see what to do with it when the time comes.
Yeah, and then when everything is like 20 stars and everything, and when you know if you're gonna go into Arcane or not, then I would think about really like min-maxing the WSE. But until then, you can go with what you currently have for a very, very long time. Yeah, I mean, your weapon still has to fit the pieces, but your weapon is probably going to end up like, well, it's probably going to roll something like 40 boss, 9/9 attack, something like that.
I hope for 2-line attack and a boss.
Yeah. Two-line attack boss is like the most common. You end up with like 23 and 20, or 23 and 30, or 40 and 20, something like that. It's pretty common, yeah. You're gonna have crazy amounts of boss damage at that point. My ears? Yeah, I don't know what it is. We're having some feedback pop in every now and then.
Difficult issues
there. Yeah, but that's yeah, and to min-max past the IED and the boss on your secondary, there are definitely going to be some gains to be made there at that point, but that's more when you get like a 250, maybe 255 past then, and then you start throwing everything into a calculator. But then you can really see like what is the percentage final damage that you could be getting, and then you can decide based on how much damage you could gain if it's worth it to you or not to spend that money, because that becomes, at that point, you're spending so much money that you could get a whole new character and fund it to be able to solo Lotus and Damien with that same amount. And then you have to wonder for yourself, like, do I care about doing 3% more, or like maybe 5% more final damage on my arc that can already do Hard Will and Hard Lucid? Or do I just want to get another character that I can do a bunch of bosses with that are fun with people?
I might get my hero to Lotus and Damien.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty close. It can solo free though, without a lot of spending.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it just has like 9% strength on all deck cubes. That's it.
Just press instinctual combo and just kill everything. Yeah.
Shit, OP.
It's so good. Yeah, the debuffs. Yeah, and they keep getting buffed in KMS, so you know.
Yeah, I know.
It's pretty free. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you keep enjoying that, at that point there's going to be more factors. But I think the main thing will be that your accessories you can go a bit higher on. And then for your Abza stuff, we'll probably stay at 17 for longer, so that you can see, like, is Arcane feeling more reasonable if you train more characters through Arcana? Like, are you going to get more droplets drop? The next events, like this event store has 50 droplets each. The next one has 100 for each. Yeah, that's like a bunch of stuff that you can get as well. And then switching from 17 Abza to 17 Arcane is already a pretty big boost. The set bonus is a lot better, and then the flames get a lot better. So... yeah, that'll be options for then, I guess.
17 Arcane. Oh, okay.
Yeah, 17 Arcane feels a little bit for now. 17 Arcane is like ugh, because it's way better to just go 20 or 21 Abzo. It's more accessible, it's cheaper, and it's stronger. So
Yeah, I
it's
saw
yeah.
a lot of people spending 30 bill to just get 17 star arcane.
Yeah, and because it's level 200, it's also so expensive,
Yeah,
and
it's expensive.
it's that thing where you spend like 200% of the amount to get like 2% more damage kind of thing, where you get into at some point, and then Arcane is definitely in that realm right now because it's so hard to replace as well. But until then, we have to yeah, it's until you get to that point, you have to be more sensible with your money. But these are literally people who just like farm a few hundred bill every month, so they have so much money to play around with that they don't have to be as careful. They can just brute force their way by just throwing more money at it.
I don't like doing that kind of thing. Just training and training and training.
Well, I'm kind of the same way. But I mean, it feels like that's going to be the way for them too, right? Once the death penalty for EXP is gone, they're gonna have to play the game quite differently. Like I always say, like if you're playing whatever is the most efficient, you're gonna be the nail that sticks out, and then nail that sticks out always gets hammered eventually. So I play a little bit more casually, but it's way more long term, and I'm more divested, not invested in one thing like meso farming. So if anything goes wrong, I can always just shift the balance a little bit and keep going, and I don't have to rethink my whole game plan. So yeah, that gives me a little bit more.
I saw for the IA for Arc, people use passive. I think
Yeah, passive plus
skills.
1. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that better than 20% boss?
Yeah, it's basically it's basically doubles up on your decent combat orders. And because we have so much boss and so much percent damage in our entire kit, like when I'm bursting, I think I'm at like 900% total damage. So the efficiency of a line of 20% boss becomes significantly less because we already have so much. Because it gets all thrown into a really big pile already. And because the passive plus 1 stacks with combat orders and gives final damage, crit damage, I think a little bit of ID, and then percentage point increase on all of our skills, that ends up increasing the DPS more than adding 20% more boss.
Yeah. I wish we get a sale on miracle circulators.
We haven't had one in so long. I think they just forgot about it.
Yeah.
We need like Reddit threads or forum posts, I think, of people like, did you guys forget that the circulator sales exist? Can we get one of those? It must have been over a year since we've had one. I don't know if anyone can find when the last one was, but there was a time where I was always excitedly looking for the cash up update, and then Control F for cube, Control F for circulator, and then just close it if it wasn't one of those. But I've even stopped doing that.
Unlimited circulators
on
the sale. Yeah.
Usually unlimited, and I think there were like 2 different ones. Sometimes it was 25% off, and sometimes it was 33% off. Which is significant. I mean, because they're almost the price of a black cube, so
yeah,
they are quite expensive. Did you see the legendary circulator in the Neo shop?
In the Neo shop.
Just immediately legendary, regardless of what you have. Just boom, legendary. But it's how many points was it again? It was so many points.
I don't know.
It was like 5,000 or something. I think it's only for non-reboot.
Yeah, I saw the new system that you need to kill bosses, like weekly bosses, to get points or something.
Yeah, they added
400 per week.
There were like 3 different resources, right? Yeah, and then for the big the red gems, you had to kill bosses. Yeah. Hey, you needed to be able to get pretty far. I think if you did up to Lotus and Damien, you could only get like just over half of per week, like 220 or something out of the 400 or 250. Yeah, you really have to get to the hard lucid, hard will part if you want to be able to cap out easily. Which, that means that currency will probably, that does give you access to some items at those higher tiers for those higher level people, so they can focus on that more. It's another kind of new approach to the whole system, which I like. They keep copy pasting what works, but they always wanted to make it a little bit different than the last time, which I appreciate that.
Yeah, I feel like the system in Neo is a bit better than point copying.
Yeah. Yeah, or just a lot of it comes down to just what can you buy with the rewards, and if the rewards are just not for you, then the whole event. We're very heavily programmed to look. Okay, can I get something out of this? No, then skip it. Can I get something out of it? Yes, then like jump into it. And if you feel like you can't really get something from it, you just skip the whole thing. I mean, that's kind of how we look at everything. Because when there's so much stuff to do in a game, you look at what is the most beneficial for me, and if I don't need anything from it, I just skip the whole thing together. And that kind of curses new content, because new content has to either be the best at something so it gets played, because if it isn't the best at something and something else is better and than what it does, then it'll just not get played at all, and it's immediately dead content.
Yeah.
And that's kind of unfortunate. Like the what is it, like the goblin, there's like the dojo and there's like another kind of dojo, right? But a lot of people don't even know about it. Maybe you don't even know about it. Like because people who rank high just get a temporary chair and that's it. So it's like, yeah, I mean, if you care about that temporary chair, you do it. But for everyone else, it's just dead content immediately. And yeah, Ghost Park, exactly. Yeah, Ghost Park. Phantom Forest, no, Ghost Park. Like,
Ghost Park.
Yeah, and it's like, I think it's like dojo, but you have to like kill a bunch of kill as many mobs as you can in a map for a certain time or something, and then the more monsters you kill, the higher you rank or something. I just looked at the content and I was like, okay, well, this is just gives you chairs. I have better things to do, so that content, yeah.
That content.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. That's why I like this stuff with Phantom Forest more, and with Golux revamp and stuff, that they kind of started connecting, like, oh, you can buy coins for this other content here, or think like Creatures, where if you participate in Creatures, you can buy reset coupons for the bosses. Now, those bosses aren't very relevant, but what if Creatures had reset coupons for things like Lucid and Will? Then immediately people would be doing invasions, right? Because people want to have more chances of arcane drops, and everyone would be running twice a week instead of once a week. So by doing stuff like that, you can make content that otherwise seems irrelevant just become relevant, because the rewards in that area are desirable. Yeah. But it has to be updated, right? Creatures is so old because those bosses were relevant back then, but now they're no longer relevant, so they have to keep updating that to make sure it stays relevant. Yeah, that's the.
I think we should revamp Arcarium. Maybe give it
Arc? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the snake should be, the normal snake should be killable with physical damage soon. That's gonna be a big
yeah, but dependent is so good, and you can kill Arcarium pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a bind.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I think maybe
or maybe a better dominant dependent and hard mode or something.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Or maybe, yeah, like maybe some kind of reward box or something, or some kind of coins that you could just buy the dominant dependent from a shop or something like that.
Yeah, that's great too.
So it's more guaranteed in the long term, kind of like maybe how Look Van Leon works. But the Van Leon is a little bit weird because normal drops the coins. No, normal drops the items, and then hard drops the coins, or
easy and normal drops the coins, and hard drops the equipment.
The equipment, yeah. So you almost want to do normal instead of hard, so that you can choose what you get instead of
so you guarantee what
getting the wrong items. Yeah, it's kind of high risk, high reward kind of setup. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of ways to go with that. I've thought about Arc needing a revamp. Yeah. Especially now, because he's like kind of connected to the whole storyline with Zero, and now that Zero is finally in Reboot, it feels like that content is just so old. Like the Arc boss fight is, it's so 2009 or something. I don't even know. It's so old. It always reminds me of the old Guild PQ boss. I don't know if you did old Guild PQ, but like that boss fight where it was just like, okay, just press buttons and hope that something good comes out. But it wasn't really. It was really hard to really go in with a plan and stick to the plan, because it was so chaotic and so much weird shit happened. Same thing with Arc, like once you start getting blocked by the snakes, and then he just like full screen cracks the whole time. You just like Hail Mary, jump to the side, or use an iframe, and
If Illa got revamped in Arcane River, why Arcarium didn't? Like, don't understand. Right, Illa became Varicilla, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay. She could. But the other, well, the only thing they did with the other Hillas was switch her from a weekly to from a daily to a weekly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely
So,
some stuff to do there for sure. Because Arc is old. It's not dead content though, right? People keep doing it, so maybe people are like,
yeah,
oh, since people keep doing it. But I think it's also good to revamp content that's being done to keep it up to date, rather than only chase like, oh, this content is dead now. Let's make it. Let's change it to salvage some of it, but also look at how can we future-proof it so it doesn't become dead content. Yeah. So I agree with that. Where you're looking at that Arc is definitely something. I feel the same about crafting and everything. Like, so much of crafting is completely unused. So I feel like a revamp in that system will keep it up to date and make it maybe future-proof rather than just wait until no one uses it ever. Like 3 classes use it to make a shield and then that's it, and everyone else doesn't care about it anymore. Yeah, I'd hate to get it to that point where everyone just kind of skips it. We're kind of almost there, right? A lot of people skip crafting and traits until they're very far in the game, and then suddenly it's like, oh wait, that's a thing, yeah. And then they have to start gathering all the materials when they already wanted to get everything.
there was like a crafting system, right, back in the day.
Oh, a long time ago with like you had to like upgrade your diamonds and shit, and then
Yeah.
you could get like bonus stats when you made an item. Yeah, but this is back when if an item was like 3 stat above average, it was like godly, and you had so much of an advantage because that was like an extra scroll already worked on it. Like that was insane. But yeah, now 3 stat is like a joke, right? People running around with 90,000 or 100,000 plus stat and non-reboot. Like, what is 3 stat?
Yeah. Ozlings really boost the stat too.
Wait, what boost is that?
Ozring.
Yeah, I think someone with an Ozring and non-reboot was like going 110k stat or something, or like 112. It was
It's something nice.
pretty busted. Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause-
the new authentic force, we should get more stat.
Yeah. What was it? 2,500 per
Yeah,
symbol?
2.5k per symbol.
3 at
So
least in the
that's-
beginning, so that's 7.5k already.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Although the final damage that we get from it is only up to 125 versus 150. So like the damage to things like Will and Lucid is probably still going to be higher than the damage we do there. Because 25% final damage is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's to compensate for that. But of course, it makes our damage at Hard Will and Hard Lucid even higher. Because then you just get a bunch of stat that applies on top with the 50% final damage, so that is pretty damn huge. Okay, let's see. Well, I mean,
Right.
let's hope that Dark Lords comes back soon, so get some
Yeah,
Doom
you get,
totems.
Totems.
I'm still on 0 Doom totems, man.
If-
So annoying. I spent 2 events doing it every single day on my arc so far, and haven't seen a single one.
Yeah.
All my mules, easy 3 dark, and then my hero and my arc don't have a single one. Of course.
Yeah, we should bring it back, or at least make new totems.
Yeah, I don't know how totem access is in KMS, and maybe since they balance things, maybe they don't really add it very much. Do they even have totems? I don't think they do.
I don't think we have any totems now.
No. That's probably why all of it is like a little bit scuffed, like you garden with a... You have to like go find them. Afterlands is like a little bit wonky.
Yeah.
And the other one is an event. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to follow a guide for the Afterlands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard
didn't know
some
what the
people-
fuck I should have done there.
Heard some people get stuck sometimes, and then it's just
Yeah, people
rip.
get stuck there.
Is there anything else in the equips?
I think we've covered everything I want to know.
Mm-hmm. Your arcane symbols are coming along just nicely.
Yeah, coming along.
Yeah, and events will help you boost your Asphera so that one can catch
Yeah.
up. Still no second daily for Morass and Asphera. I kind of see why they
Yeah,
did
no.
it though. They don't want people. They want people to get the early symbols very quickly leveled up, so you can get a lot of arcane power from that, so you can be pushed to the later levels. But they want to make sure that you don't get like the 1320 too fast to easily kill the black mage. I
I
got
feel
that.
like Latch is a bit slower, like
Yeah.
close-ish to Morris and Sphera because
Mm-hmm.
I'm still at the lower stage at Dream Defender.
What are you clearing on Dream Defender?
Stage 70.
70. Okay. That should be pushable at this point. Have you ever tried? Because you have enough burst. Like 70 is easy, right? But pushing
Yeah.
to 80 is hard, probably.
Yes.
Um,
Use Infinity Spell somewhat.
do you have 3,000 points saved up?
Yeah, I have 3k points.
What you could do is like just like pop all your shit, because you'll never have trouble clearing actual 80. The difficult part will be pushing from 70 to 80. So what you could do is push guild skills, monster park pots, and just like go balls to the wall, and basically just the first two should be able to clear just fine, and then as soon as you get to like the third one, like 70 would be 71, so like 73, just immediately click the bell, so you pop the first box immediately, and then kill another one, so immediately the bar moves very quickly. Kill the third box, and then move to one of the other two and start pre-killing the monster so they can't corrupt the box, and then keep going. And use that to just brute force your way into 80, because 80 should be no problem for you to clear. And that'll be an extra. That's one extra. Yeah, it's still only one extra symbol a day, but it'll help, right? And every month it's 30 extra symbols.
Sometimes the portals do get laggy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 2 seconds to load.
Did you ever see? Oh man, back when I did Dream Defender, I did some weird shit, because there's like some boundaries you could get outside of, and you could get like in between the maps. You ever seen that?
Oh, I see.
With like a dash, you could get in
Yeah, I
between
think so.
yeah, it's some weird shit. And do you know about the middle map? If you go too high, you get teleported to the platform.
Yeah, I tried that.
Yeah.
I up jumped and like it brought me back.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah, you can put the. I don't know how the endlessly starving beast helps now. Could you
mm,
put that one like in the middle? Go to another platform, kill there, and then the starving beast kills the one where you had it spawned.
I think we need to be in the like same location for it to activate.
Well, yeah,
Sh-
that's kind of the question, right? Because technically you're in the same map. Because all of the maps are in the
Yeah.
same map. They're all connected. It's not a.
But you're like far away from it. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
maybe too far.
I need to check.
Yeah. If that helps, yeah. But yeah, cycle between what other skills? Because you would need to fully weaponize your
Oh, maybe my
matrix.
the bind might be good.
Yeah, because it has like residual damage, so it'll kill
Yeah.
it'll kill the monsters that spawn around. Oh man, I never really used. I only like panic used Abyssal at the end if I knew it was going to clear anyway, so that I could have longer Spectre for the next stage, basically.
Yeah, I think what you can do is use a Bristle Wickle before you enter the stage.
Yeah, something like that. So that you can do like the first two in full Spectre, without Infinity Spell, then Bell the second and third, and then pop Infinity Spell to make sure that you keep clearing those as your Spectre comes back. But yeah, definitely pop in your Speed Infusion and your Goddess Blessing, and then kind of cycle between the Blessing and the Beast and the Infinity Spell, kind of to do and always pop Creeping Terror whenever it's up, just to like boom, full map clear. And
Creeping Terror one shot the whatever thing it's in.
The music box.
Yeah, the music box.
Yeah, I would say try to push to 80 there, because it is a very slow start on Lechaline, and it's especially compared to Arcana, where as long as you have Spirit Savior down, it's like a guaranteed 14 18 a day.
Yeah, it's 18 a day.
Yeah, Arcana is actually really fast. Yeah, I mean, it's fine, right? If those three cap first, then Lechaline falls behind, that's whatever. I mean, you'll still have event, and 3 of them max is already 600 anyway, so. Or no, it's 660. Yeah, 660, so. That's already a huge chunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go for the 7-day monster parker. I don't know if you're working on that right now, but
I'm doing it. Yeah, on a daily basis, I do 2 times, like 2 runs.
Okay, you don't do the 5 extra?
Yeah, no, I just get. I'll get it when I get it.
Okay.
Don't want to push it too hard
No, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
because it's not that necessary. It is, but not that much.
No, I get it. Like I do it, but I have thousands of those potions. Monster. I was gonna say, but what about the Monster Park potions? But yeah, I look at how many I have, and like you could do, you could do with fewer than that. You'll still be fine.
Yeah.
I think I have like 3,300 gold potions now or something. So never train, but the whole inventory is full of them. Yeah, that's probably time that could have been spent a little bit more. Oh, actually 5,300. Okay, well.
5,000.
Yeah, it's a little bit much. It's a little overkill. Yeah, so you do you check what makes most sense for you. Maybe like max out on Sunday or something for the experience boxes.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I do it sometimes.
That's what I did in the beginning. I bought out the coupons from the reward shop, which is 20 extra, and then I used that for 4 Sundays for 5 extra runs those 4 Sundays.
Yeah, maybe even
That's what I did.
Saturday, because Saturday can give the EXP ones too.
Yeah, Saturday can give any of them, yeah. Man, yeah, Saturday either it gives you like 1 or 2 experience coupons in total, but that's only when you want experience coupons. And then when you don't want them, it just it gives you like 50% or something. Like, thank you. Whole inventory full of experience coupons that I just have to let expire. Nice. Oh well.
Yeah, that's good that Awake event is now on, because you can buy the 1 hour 60%, not 6%, 1% EXP.
Oh, that's an hour duration? Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's an hour duration for 1 bamboo shoot.
With the bamboo, yeah. Okay, that's pretty nice. Yeah, so you can
it's
use
pretty
5
good.
of those per week.
It's you can buy them 3 times per day.
Yeah, but I mean you can get 5 shoots per week, right? Because of the the scroll level ups. Yeah.
Does Sunday give Sunday gives too?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, so 6. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so you want to make sure that you always level up on Sunday?
Level up. I normally do training sessions on Sunday or Monday, and then.
Oh, we get 2 now because we're on the 2nd scroll. Right. And then when we're on the 3rd scroll, we get 3 per day. I think. True.
Oh yeah.
True.
So it's even more now.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be some crazy leveling. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Events, nodes. So you're probably focusing more on symbols from the events, I guess.
Yeah, I'm focusing on symbols, and when getting flames from the mills.
Yep. Okay.
To flame the ups weapon.
Yes, that'll be a huge boost. All right, so 5, 10, 15 in a month. Yeah. Okay, I think we covered everything, right?
Yeah.
Someone is hammering the wall. Can you hear that?
Kinda.
I think they're like hanging up a picture frame or something.
Yeah, from above.
Yeah. Oh well. That's like the first noise I've had in a year, so it's fine. It's really well isolated, so I'm very happy with that. In the beginning, when I was streaming, I was like a little bit more quiet, so like, because I didn't want to get any, I didn't want to move into a new house and immediately start like screaming and make my neighbors uncomfortable immediately. But like I slowly went louder and louder, and no one ever complained about anything. And then when we were like all chatting outside before the whole Corona stuff, basically everyone said that no one hears like anything. Sometimes you hear a vacuum cleaner because it's like a low sound. It's like easy to hear, but apart from that, no one hears anything. So it's like really well isolated. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I see.
Perfect house for me, so I could just yell. Even if I stream to 3 a.m., I don't have to worry about like waking up my neighbors and shit. So that's perfect. Okay, but that's
nice.
We're digressing. Okay. Okay. Well, it's nice to see your gains, and I look forward to seeing some more.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Good luck on 5, 10, 15. I hope you could don't have to spend too much money on getting everything 17.
Thanks. Have a great stream.
Yes. Thank you very much. All right. Bye, man.
See ya. Bye.
Bye. Nice. Good one. Now I always feel weird for advertising these sessions because I'm already booked up for at least another week, and we have like another 10 on top of that we have to. So if you like these progression sessions, check the description and be prepared to wait at least 2 weeks because these are in high-ass demand, okay? Maybe with a premium. I want to make Scardor do 20 push-ups, but it's 2k re. It's way more than 2k. But yes, thank you for watching these. I hope that was insightful. I hope it helped you out. And I'll hear from you. And of course, I'm always live on Twitch. So join in the fun and catch me live.